Everybody, welcome to the South Australian Sports Show. I hope you can stay with us for the next hour. We have got plenty coming up on the show. We've got a bit of golf, we've got some soccer, we've got some lacrosse, and of course we've got lots of stories to tell as well. So welcome Barry Curtin to the show. Baz, how are you?
Very well, thank you, Phil.
All right, Olympic Games, mate, less than 20 days. We're closing in quickly. Ben Simmons, unavailable. Told the coach earlier in the week that he won't be coming.
Again. Never pick him again. Look, I've listened to all the commentary. If this is COVID related, I have no issue. But other players are going there. Other players on big contracts are going to play for Australia. As far as I'm concerned, Ben Simmons, I'm over him. Absolutely over him. I don't want to hear another word about him, and I don't want the Australian selectors to pick him again, ever. Because he's not into it, mate. If you don't want to play for your country, Phil, if you do not want to play for your country, I don't care what contract you are on. I couldn't care less what contract you're on. But if you don't want to represent your country, then you're, as far as I'm concerned, mate, you're out of here. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, well, I haven't spoken to Ben, but the Australian Boomers, mate, it's a great brotherhood. So if we were part of the team right now, if I was part of the team, we'd be putting our arms around Ben saying, mate, whatever it is you need to do, we'll support you. We'd like you to be here, but if you need to do something else, mate, the doors will always be open. They'll never be closed.
Work on his game.
But the era's changed. I mean, we're seeing that, we talk about loyalty with clubs and things before. Now you're seeing players go. So when Ben comes in to his childhood, his ambition isn't to play for Australia at the Olympic Games. His ambition is to go to the NBA.
Well, then go to the NBA.
And that's what he's done. He's gone to the NBA. So as a kid growing up, my ambition was to play for Australia. It wasn't to play for the Olympic Games. So if you had said you've got a choice between the NBA and going to the Olympics, I'd say, well, I'm going to the Olympics. So it's just different times. I remember having this great conversation with Barry Robin once, and I said to him, mate, why didn't you go to Victoria? And clearly he was good enough, and clearly everyone was chasing him.
Of course he was,
He said, because I just wanted to play for North Adelaide. So Ben is making that same decision. He just wanted to play in the NBA. I think at some stage he will come back and play for Australia, but it's not right now. He wants to go away and work on his game.
Mate, come on. Paddy Mills is sitting there.
Paddy's established,
big
mate.
photo in the paper. Mate, he would be on a packet.
They're the last era, though, Baz. That's what I'm saying. Joe Ingles, Paddy Mills, Delavadego, those guys, Dante Exum, they're the last of the kids growing up that wanted to play for Australia and go to the NBA. Ben's the new one. He just wanted to go to the NBA.
Well, go to the NBA.
So eventually he'll come back and play, but it's not his priority. He'll go to one Olympic Games. He'll be no different to Michael Jordan. You know, if you ask the NBA players, well, then why aren't all the NBA players available for the Olympic Games?
Well, I don't care about the other
NBA priority
players, mate. I care about Australia.
I agree with you, so do I. And I'd love Ben to play. And if I had a chance to talk to him, I'd say, mate, it'll be one of the best things you ever do in your life. Make no mistake.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
But for him and the younger kids coming through now, that's not their objective. So it's different. It's just different times.
Then when the selection comes up, as far as I'm concerned, mate, I don't pick him because his heart's not in it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he'd be there now.
Well, maybe
he would be there.
Then he's
right
made
now.
the right decision now that his heart's not in it.
Well,
later on,
mate,
his heart may be in it.
He's taken the time to work on his game.
Yeah.
Mate, he's an NBA player on $200 million a year. What sort of work is he going to do?
So do you reckon the owner's not expecting a bit more from him from his money then?
I don't care about the owner.
And I think in fairness to Ben, I think he's copped some unfair criticism over his series. So do you know...
Build a bridge.
But do you know, if he had have scored double digits in the games that they're critical of him, he would have had triple doubles.
Yeah.
And everyone would have gone, it's unbelievable. So he's got 13 assists, he's got 15 rebounds. Oh, he only scored 6 points. So you've had a shocker. Can't shoot free throws. So I'm going... Just wouldn't mind him on my team. Anyway, I see
your point, but don't get me wrong. I do see your point. But I'm talking about, I'm a passionate Australian. I want Australia to win a medal.
I see your point too.
I want Australia to win a medal. At the Olympic Games, basketball. Because we've been so close. We've been there or thereabouts.
Fourth the tees, mate.
And then we get these players that are guns. And then one decides, no, I'm going to stay home and shoot a few free throws. Rather than go to the Olympics. Mate, I'm over him. I'm over Benny. Benny Simmons, he can go and play for
Let me ask you this one.
Forestville.
Here's a hypothetical for you, mate. He's on $70 million a year. Who's insuring him?
Well,
so he comes over and plays for Australia and does his ACL, mate. I guarantee if I was the owner, I'd say, mate, you can go and play, but if you get injured, I'm not paying you anymore. I'm not paying you to play for someone else and get injured.
You know what?
I'll pay you to play for me to get injured.
You know what, mate? As an Australian, I'd go, yeah, well, okay, mate, I'm happy. I'll play. I'm going to play. I'm going to play for my country.
I think it's more complicated.
I know it's a bit more complicated than that, mate. But how do you think most of the Australian people feel about Ben Simmons right now?
Exactly the same as you.
Well, of course they do.
And I'm saying be a bit more sympathetic.
No.
No. Okay. All right. Let's move on quickly, mate. Power, mate. They talked about it being one of the gutsy, old-style footy, tough win over Sydney.
Yeah,
did you see it that way?
Well, yes, I did, because Sydney are a good side, and I keep trying to tell people that.
Yep.
If you look at their top 6 players, they're as good as any in the comp.
Yep.
So they're always going to be good.
Yep.
Always going to be hard to beat, and they were hard to beat. But you know, Ken Hinkley's right. You've got to give Port some credit for their resilience, for being top 4 at the moment with the people they've got sitting in the sheds.
Pretty good.
They've done extremely well. Yet they don't get a lot of credit.
No, we've said that many times.
We've said that many times, and all they can do is keep winning.
I think if you're in South Australia, you don't get many credits for lots of sports, mate.
Well, that's very true.
We're going to talk to some of the cross people later on.
Very quickly here, John Longmire here, I know for a fact, set Sydney up for this game. Big time, really big time. So, you know, they really wanted this one badly. So it was a great game of footy. Great game of footy.
Crows, of course, went down to Carlton. I'm
interested.
interested.
They win.
It's funny, isn't it? Port win by 10 points.
Yeah.
Crows lose by 10 points. It's an anomaly, I know, but the two 10 points. Were you surprised?
Kick straight, no. I think Crows, I picked the Crows.
Yep.
Had they kicked straight in the first quarter, they would have won.
All right. Rory Sloane maybe done for the season.
Yeah, very sad.
Massive loss for them.
That's a massive loss. It is a huge loss. It's a loss you can't cover.
There you go. So we're talking the irreplaceables. Remember I said with a certain player, if Gray is out for the season, that's damaging for their...
Well, I don't think he's out for the season. We had some good news on him this morning.
So he might be okay?
Yeah. Well, not okay, but...
Well, he
not
may
as long
be back
out.
for the finals.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good one.
Yeah, very good, yeah.
All right, mate. Well, you need to get over to Alicia for the sporting news. Alicia, what have you got for us?
Thanks, guys. I'm Alicia, filling in for Jamie this week, and I'll be taking you through SA Sport Show's weekly wrap-up of local news. In the AFL, Port Adelaide had a thrilling 10-point win over Sydney at Adelaide Oval on Saturday. Buddy Franklin helped Sydney's push in the fourth quarter, narrowing the gap between the Swans and the Power by 5 points. Port's victory was cemented by ruckman Scott Lissett in the final minutes, pushing Power back into the top 4. Border restrictions have caused a slight reshuffle for round 16, but we'll still see Hawthorn play host to the boys in teal at Marvel Stadium this weekend. Adelaide sport lovers are in for a treat as the government has announced the allocation of $49 million to a brand new headquarters for the South Australian Sports Institute. The headquarters are set to include a specially designed indoor court, an environmental chamber for simulated temperature and altitude training, ergometer training zones, as well as a strength and conditioning gym, which will be capable of serving multiple sports and teams. The headquarters will be located at Mile End and will be next to Netball SA Stadium. Premier Stephen Marshall says the new HQ will create around 200 jobs and is set to complete construction by mid-2023. South Australia's thoroughbred racing industry will receive a significant boost in general prize money from July 1st. The CEO of Racing SA, Nick Reardon, says the board's decision to boost prize money will create growth and jobs for the industry. Saturday races, for example, will now offer a minimum of $40,000 in prize money. The boost will also enable people who participate in South Australian horse racing to continue to operate and grow their businesses. In the SANFL, North Adelaide had a stunning win over Port Adelaide last Saturday at Prospect Oval, pushing the Roosters into the top 5. The Roosters fought valiantly to take the 76-point win, kicking 10 goals in succession through the middle of the game. North Adelaide's Keenan Ramsey received the Coles Valley Player Award for his effort throughout the match, kicking 3 goals, also acquiring 15 disposals and 12 marks. North Adelaide is set to verse West Adelaide this Saturday at Hisense Stadium. Netball SA has appointed coaches for its Southern Force side in the 2021 Australian Netball Championships this September. Former Thunderbirds player and elite coach Jackie Illman has been appointed as head coach, with former national player Jenny Borlase selected for assistant coach. Both coaches bring plenty of experience and knowledge to the table, with Illman previously serving as a specialist coach for the Thunderbirds in 2020. The Australian Netball Championships are set to be played in September in Traralgon, Victoria. That's all we've got for you this week. Be sure to stick around because we've got plenty more on the way. I'm Alicia Miller and we'll be right back after the break.